If you own a restaurant and you've been staring at your toast bill thinking this used to be cheaper, you're not crazy. Your bill is going up, it's going to keep going up, and Toast has put the reason in writing for anyone willing to read it. I'll tell you what they said in a minute. First, a quick story about chocolate. In 1893, George Cadbury bought 120 acres of land next to his chocolate factory in England and started building a model village for his workers. He called it Bournville. Real houses, schools, parks, a cricket pitch. The chocolate brand his family built was famous for two things. It tasted incredible and it treated its people right. Cadbury was the kind of company every business owner says they want to be. In 2010, Kraft bought Cadbury for $19 billion. The deal came with public promises they'd keep the British factories open, they'd honor the worker model, the brand would stay the same. Then they closed Summerdale anyway. 500 jobs gone. And anyone who's eaten a Cadbury bar in the last 15 years has noticed it tastes different. The recipe got cheaper, the cocoa content dropped, the story that built the brand got quietly cut up and sold for parts. That's the pattern a brand promises to make life better for the people it serves. It scales up and then it quietly strips the original promise one small change at a time. The customers don't realize it for years because each individual change is too small to notice. Which brings us to Toast. Toast was founded in 2011 by three engineers out of MIT. The pitch was simple. Restaurant point of sale was broken, old terminals, terrible support, predatory contracts. Toast was going to fix all of that. Bundled hardware, clean pricing, built specifically for restaurants by people who understood restaurants. For about a decade, that was true. Restaurant owners loved it. Toast grew fast. They went public in 2021. They're now in over 171,000 restaurant locations. Here's what happened since the IPO. In their first quarter of 2026, Toast posted a 21% operating margin. That was the first time it ever crossed 20%. Their software gross margin came in at 81%. Also the first time that's ever happened in the history of the company. Now, let me put those numbers in context. The average restaurant in this country runs on a 3 to 9% profit margin. 42% of the restaurants weren't profitable at all last year. The company that sold itself as the partner of the small restaurant is now extracting software company margins on the back of an industry that's barely breaking even. That didn't happen by accident. Here's what Toast leadership told investors on their Q1 2026 earnings call. I'm reading this verbatim. Total take rate will continue to grow. Let that sit for a second. Take rate is just the share of every dollar your restaurant processes that Toast pockets. And a company is telling its shareholders in writing that the plan is to keep taking a bigger and bigger piece steadily, permanently, in small enough increments that you won't notice month to month. And they could do that because somewhere in the contract you signed, there's a clause that says Toast can raise your processing rate with 30 days notice. Most merchants never see the notice. It's an attachment to a statement they don't read. By the time they realize your effective rate has gone up 0.5%, it's been creeping up for 2 years. This is exactly the Cadbury playbook. The original promise, the growth, the public company pressure, the quiet erosion of the original deal, one small change at a time until the customer wakes up and realizes they're not getting what they signed up for anymore. The difference is the customers in this story are restaurant owners running at thin single-digit margins, and the cost is coming out of their families. Okay, so what do you actually do about it? 3 things. First, find your real effective rate. Most owners I talk to can't tell me what they actually pay. They tell me the rate the rep quoted them when they signed up. That number means nothing. The real number is total processing fees divided by total monthly card volume. Pull the last month's statement, do the math, you'll be surprised what comes out on the other side. Second, find out what kind of pricing model you're actually on. If your statement uses words like qualified, mid-qualified, non-qualified, you're on tiered pricing. Tiered pricing exists to obscure markup. There's no other reason for it to even exist. The alternative is called Interchange Plus. It shows you exactly what Visa and MasterCard charge and exactly what your processor adds on top. You can read it, you can audit it. Most restaurant owners have never seen one. Third, look at the legal options for pushing the cost back where it belongs. Cash discount programs are legal in all 50 states. Surcharge programs are legal in 48. Both let you stop paying credit card fees as a cost of doing business. And this is the single biggest lever most restaurant owners don't know they have. The Cadbury story ended badly for the workers, the families, and the people who loved the original brand. The Toast story is being written right now on every restaurant's monthly statement. The only question is whether you notice in time. If you want me to look at your statement and tell you exactly what you're paying, I do that for free. I run a payment processing company called Merchamax. The link is in the description. 10 minutes, I read your statement, I tell you the truth about what you're actually paying. No sales pitch, no follow-up calls unless you want one. So if this video helped you, subscribe. I'm trying to get the truth about payment processing in front of as many restaurant owners as I can before the next round of small, steady changes.